Inside.
Hello, Paul.
Good morning, Mr. Trump.
So you're going to teach me something today.
I hope I can do that.
Well, I'm going to try doing your job. It's not going to be easy.
Don't do it too well. Try that one on and see if that fits.
It's very interesting.
We do everything from walking dogs to running up groceries to whatever the guests may need. We really never have to say no to a guest. I think we have a guest that's going to be coming down shortly, checking out.
Am I allowed to accept tips?
You are.
Let's go get a guest. How are you?
Okay, well, thank you.
Did you enjoy your stay?
I did. Thank you so much.
Very good. Well, I'll help you with those bags. Look at this, right? You didn't expect this,
I
right?
did not expect this.
Would you like the purse inside?
Would you like this inside with you?
Thank you very much.
I tried to, There you go, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is the first time I've carried luggage for anybody, including myself, in a long time. It's been a long time, but it was fun. The life of a bellman and working in a hotel is never easy. Good job. Good job.
I believe that somebody just called down for a dog walking appointment. I always keep a dog biscuit on hand just in case the dog is either nice
biscuit.
or not so nice.
Very good.
Please,
I hope it's not a vicious dog. Hello, how are you?
Oh my goodness.
I'm here to walk your dog.
Gosh.
We have a doggy park at the hotel.
Yes.
And I'm going to take it for a little walk.
Thank you.
Have a good time. I'll be back in a few
Thank you.
minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Hey, sweetheart. Hey. Come on, hon. Come on. We'll go over here. You take your dog, you go outside, it's freezing, and you walk around for a while, and it's not that easy. Okay, be careful. The fact that she trusted me with that dog was amazing. Probably she shouldn't have, but it worked out. Hello, everybody. Hey, Andy. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm going to help you.
First, give you an appropriate vest.
Okay.
You look like us, please.
Very nice. Now what happens if somebody like me wants to take a bite out of the burger before I bring it to the room? Is that acceptable?
It's not a good idea. It's not
Not good?
acceptable.
Ready? Come on, let's go, Andy. Room service. Look at this. This is serious room service. I hope you give me a nice big fat tip. Have a good time. Hello, Mia.
Good morning, Mr.
How are
Trump.
you?
Always a pleasure.
Nice to see you again.
So you're going to
huh?
help me do housekeeping
I am. Am
today?
I going to change this again?
Yes.
Let's go. Very nice, Mia.
Okay, so first we're going to start off with the bed.
Okay.
So first you want to pull the cover up so we have it kind of tight.
Right. Good.
So next, Mr. Trump, I'm going to need you to vacuum.
Okay. So where's the little release? Wow. So there's a little piece of lint. Now it's gone. You're great.
So now we're going to go to the bathroom. So I can
Oh, I'm not
to
at the
the
bathrooms, man.
sinks.
I don't know if I could ever do that
Yes,
job.
you can.
Only sinks, right? Okay.
First, spray the sink.
Okay. I like that. I like this job, Mia.
Oh, then maybe you should come help me all the time.
Well, these are 4 jobs that I've never done before, and they're tough. You have to be sharp, you have to be smart, you have to get along with the people, and it's hard work, not easy, but you love it, right?
Yes.
She's fantastic. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much for doing
Thanks.
such a great job. I'm your apprentice. You know
And I'm
that.
hired, right?
Yeah. Back into the military, into the army because of me. I'm your real deal.
The president has returned to the U.S. This from just moments ago. You've got to come and watch this. This was actually a light moment. We just wanted to play it for you. Provide a little relief as we are covering all this serious news. You see a Marine alongside Marine One lost his cap. The president goes to help put it back in. It falls off again as he pats him on the side. He goes and he grabs it again. It's so windy, obviously, from the helicopter. He's trying to right the ship here and help out the Marine standing alongside. Apparently cannot move from his current position, and then the president boards.
Was running for president, and then he got elected, and then the negativity didn't stop. It was non-stop. And, you know, I like the point that they made at the end of the first segment when he was doing all those different jobs. You know, I'm from New York. We've known the Trump family up there as New Yorkers for decades, you know, and he hires so many people in all the properties all over the country, all over the world, in fact. And here he gave up like a billionaire kind of lifestyle to be mocked and ridiculed and picked on. I mean, it's quite amazing. So when I saw these videos, I thought I would kind of string them together. The one about the military. Now, that was taken from a surprise visit he and Melania did over to Afghanistan. And, you know, he just showed up there just like that. No one knew about it. No press, no advance warning. He got up and said, you know what, let's go. I want to go on the ground and see what's going on with the military in Afghanistan. And you can see the guys were taking selfies with him, and they wanted a Trump hat autographed. I mean, such a good guy. But what I was trying to get at here is showing the very human side of Donald Trump. He's kind of like you and me in a way. He loses his patience. He loses his temper sometimes. You know, sometimes I get annoyed. I don't like his tweets sometimes, or like, I think yesterday at the rally, I heard he said a bad word. I won't repeat it. I also heard he said a not so nice thing about Chris Cuomo. I mean, deep down, does he really mean for Chris Cuomo to get COVID again? No, of course not. He had COVID, you know, I mean, do you think he wants to get it again, or he wants Melania to get it again? He doesn't want anyone to get it again. But he had a weak moment, so out of his mouth came I guess you would call that a blooper, right? But you know what? I forgive him. You forgive him? I mean, that's what we really have to look at. Because right now, and I have a few people, okay, that I know that are on, I call it the left coast. And of course, they're not going to vote for Trump. They're voting for Biden. Their ballots are in. They're all cheering. And when you ask them about the issues of why they voted for Biden, they don't, it's almost like Biden's commercials or the debate with Biden. They don't talk about what Biden's going to do because Biden doesn't even talk, or Kamala Harris, about what they're going to do for our country. No, they just point fingers at Trump. They badmouth Trump. They say Trump is this and Trump is that and bad that. But how could you vote for someone that you don't know his list of potential Supreme Court judges that he would put in place, or at the federal level? Like, where's your list? They refuse to show their list. Oh, but the voters don't need to know our list. Oh, really? You know, that's something President Trump did in 2016, and he did it this time too. I mean, what's he doing? He's putting his cards on the table. Here's the list I'm picking from. Here it is. And sure enough, he did. He picked Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and now Amy Coney Barrett from his list. And there's a revised list now of here's the other ones. Here they are, added a few more names. I mean, that's honesty. And of course, Biden and Harris still haven't gotten the list, but we haven't gotten policies other than that they're going to raise taxes. Oh, they claim it's just on people who make over $400,000. But I guess what? President Trump's policies to reduce our taxes gave benefits to not just wealthy people, like they're saying. It gave benefits to the average middle-class family. It reduced taxes. It gave them more child care credits and all this. So when Biden and Harris say that they're going to get rid of all the Trump tax cuts on the wealthy, well, guess what? They're also going to get you and me too, and the middle-class people, because the Trump administration's tax cuts included everybody. And, you know, when they pick on the wealthy and big business, here's another thing too. When you regulate big businesses and over-regulate, like we've had for the 8 years with Obama, regulations that will go through, make you crazy. Well, what does it do with the corporations? They reduce what they can do. It pushed jobs overseas, as we know. I mean, aren't you sick and tired? I know I am. When I go into a store, I have to pick up something and you look made in China, made in China, made in China, made in China. I want to see made in the USA, don't you? I want to take some questions. Come on, give me your questions. I'm waiting. But don't you want to see made in USA? I'm sick of made in China, aren't you? And here's this, and I used to live in New York, all right, where we have the piers that are on the Hudson River where the big container ships come in. If you've ever landed at Newark Airport and you look out to the right side of the plane as you're landing, you see what's called Howland Hook, which is a main container port to offload the ships. Now, what used to happen, and I can tell you this way back, those container ships would come in full, but then they would go out full. Why? Because here comes the imports, and now out goes what we've made that we're selling elsewhere, and there goes the exports. I can't tell you how many container ships I've seen over the decades where they come in full and they go out empty. They come in full, they go out empty. So what happens on the pier? You can see those big containers. Now picture them stacked 6 and 8 high, lined along the pier, empty containers from all the merchandise that comes in from overseas in China and gets emptied and put into our stores. But we're not. Where's our manufacturing stuff going overseas? Trump has been changing that. And now we've been seeing some more of those container ships leaving with containers on them. And we want that to continue, don't we? I mean, absolutely. I'm going to see if we have any questions. I got a lot of comments. I see a lot of people liked seeing the human side of President Trump. And you know what? If you don't like his tweets and if you don't like some of the things that come out of his mouth, that's okay. But he's not perfect. He's not perfect. But you know why I'm voting for President Trump? Not about his personality. I am voting for President Trump because of his policies. That's right. The policies that I've seen for almost the past 4 years put in place, more protection for unborn children. He has tried to defund Planned Parenthood. He's done it through executive order as far as he can do. Now we have to give him a Congress that will take it the rest of the steps, because he said, put those pro-life bills on my desk. Give them to me. Give them to me. I'll sign them into law. And when you think about it, The first 2 years of his presidency, we were in a nice, good trajectory. We were starting to get things done. And then what happened? In 2018, we lost the House. And guess what? Nancy Pelosi's been in charge. And all those little pro-life bills that started percolating in Congress are stuck in committee, like the Born Alive bill. She won't even bring that bill to the floor for the House to vote. Now, she knows, because the Democrats are in control of the House, that they, in fact, will defeat the bill, but she doesn't even want them to go on record. So she just keeps it locked up in committee. I mean, there's so much at stake for this election. There really, really is. And, that's why right now so many states are voting. I know here in Florida, early voting opened up yesterday. I'm going to vote later this week, which I'm going to get back to that topic in a minute. But let's see. Mickey Smith says, agree. I didn't vote for him because he was an angel. I voted for him because he will get the work done. I will vote for him again, 2020. And Sharon says, you are 100% correct on all points, Janet. I love Trump because of his policies, principles over personalities. That's right. And brothers and sisters, that's the phrase we've got to use like a mantra. Because when I woke up this morning, everything on Facebook was blowing up by the little hiccup of the bad word he said yesterday and the thing he said about Chris Cuomo. And my first reaction, my phone was blowing up, people saying to me, oh, did you hear what he said? Now what are we going to do? I said, what are we going to do? We're going to keep repeating the facts. You're electing him not for his personality, like we just said, but for the policies. And here, Leroy says, love his rallies. He's an energized rabbit and never slows down. Go, President Trump. Okay, question. What can we do if we get tricked with voter fraud or media? Well, first of all, the one way to prevent voter fraud right now, it's very important. It's called protect your ballot. Okay. Now, whether you're going to vote, well, first of all, if you're voting in person, that's, of course, the best way. And a lot of states have started early voting, so you can literally go to the polls and vote in person. That's like number one, preferable. Now, some states, unfortunately, like New Jersey, they're not letting anyone vote in person. Mail ballots only. However, you can take that mail ballot and you can bring it to the designated places like the Board of Elections, all right? That's the second best thing to do. I personally, I normally vote absentee because normally, before pre-COVID, I'm normally traveling and speaking. But what I'm going to be doing is with my absentee ballot, I'm going to fill it out, and the Board of Elections for Titusville here where I live, where this office is right down the street practically. I'm going to bring it there. I'm going to hand deliver my ballot. And that's what I'm recommending. Whether your state is mail-in, absentee, bring the ballot. Don't put it in the mail. Please don't put it in the mail. Bring it. And unlike what I saw happen in Los Angeles, I don't know if you saw this in the news. I saw it right before coming in the studio on Fox. Someone, they claimed there were 100 ballots in this ballot box, and it wasn't by the Board of Elections. It was just out. Like, I guess they must be putting them all over in California. We could throw your ballots in a box, and someone threw something in there and set the box on fire. And they claimed there were 100 ballots lost in the fire, and they're going to remail those ballots to people. Well, how do they know what 100 people's ballots burnt? That was my first question, which they still didn't answer. But this is why I'm saying go to the Board of Elections in your county and hand deliver your ballot. And then Lisa's writing, very few people have great personalities these days. Personality doesn't get the job done. Brains and commitment does. Trump 2020. That's right, Lisa. President Trump, he gets up, I think he says around 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. All right. And then I saw just recently, they were trying to get Biden to comment on a story. It was when Trump was diagnosed with COVID. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. They still couldn't get a comment. And then someone says, oh, that's because he first wakes up at 8 a.m. What kind of president is going to get the job done if he first wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning? I mean, I don't know about you, but by 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm in my car on my way to work. Aren't you? And President Trump at 8 o'clock in the morning, he's probably already had a few meetings in the Oval Office. From what he's talked about his workday, he gets up really, really early. And you know what? He hasn't done that just because he's president. Why do you think he's a successful businessman? It's because he's got this work ethic. It reminds me of my dad. My dad was a World War II veteran, and my brother and I to this day still kid around. When we were kids, I used to say, but Dad, we don't have to be like blowing a bugle. He used to come up to our bedrooms at like, my dad was much like Trump. He got around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. But he would wake us up even on a Saturday, like 6 o'clock in the morning. He would come and shake your ankles. That was my dad's way. Come on, let's go. Time to start the day. Dad, it's Saturday. That's okay. Get up. Don't lay around bed all day. Chores to be done. You know, that's a work ethic. And you could see that's the same work ethic Donald Trump has. Why? Because his father probably did it to him too. I do it myself because of my father. I get up at the crack of dawn. I really do. Even on the weekend, I get up early. Why? I mean, there's so much you can get done in the day if you get started. So, you know, I love the things President Trump has done so far in the past 4 years. And I'll tell you right now, I cringe. I'm frightened for my grandchildren, thinking that, you know, our country, we're at a crossroads right now. You know, are we going to be America, home of the free and the brave? Or are we going to become a socialist and communist nation? Because those are the kind of policies they're putting in place. Okay. Oh, and Pamela's telling me, I love his personality. Says it how it is. Talks like real people. Yeah, he does. He talks, you know. And you know what it is? I think part of his, you know, reality of this is how I am. It's because he's from New York. I mean, I'm from New York. And people kid about me about this all the time. Even my staff here at Priest Life, they can tell you if there's something going on and I get very excited, and like Trump, I get very excited and passionate, and I tell everyone what I'm thinking. And so, you know, everyone says, well, if you really want to know what Janet's thinking, just tell her, open her mouth, and out it comes. Well, that's Trump, you know. He's honest. He says what he feels. Okay, here Deborah says, I love Trump's tone. He reminds me of the strong men in my family. They push you to get things accomplished without fear. That's right. Well, because you know why, too? If you saw when President Trump, in the beginning of this session, he was taking all those different jobs to see what it was like, and they videotaped that. Well, I've been told by people, you know, who work in the Trump hotels in New York, where I was from, that's how he is. He'll sometimes just walk into one of his properties and he'll start talking to the employees. He doesn't act snobbish. He doesn't like put off. He's with the people. And that's the way he's been, as you think, with our country. I mean, why do you think his rallies are getting 10, 15, 20,000 people at his rallies? Here in Florida, I can't tell you how many boat parades there's been. Just about every waterway here in Florida has had huge Trump boat parades. People are excited about him having 4 more years. You know, so in the few minutes we have left together, I just like to first of all encourage everybody to pray for our president and vice president. And here at Priest for Life, we have a great election prayer that, you know, was written by Father Frank Pavone. And you can go to electionprayer.org, electionprayer.org, and there's the prayer. And also, too, we have, as I always want to remind you, was not much time left to get this party comparison out. Okay, the difference between the Republican and Democratic Party. This is what's at stake in our country. Are we going to have a country like our founding fathers established, or are we going to go like the Democrats in a socialist direction? We're giving these out absolutely free in the prayer cards. Just go to prolifeproducts.org. Again, prolifeproducts.org, and place your order today, because we only have 2 weeks left to this election. And I really would like to, my staff, they've been working every weekend, getting everything out the door. But go to prolifeproducts.org right now, especially if you're a Trump fan, and let's get those comparison guides out there. It says, how can I get a copy? Please go to prolifeproducts.org. We'll send you as many copies as you want. You want 100, 200, 500, 1,000. You got a bunch of people to give them out to, some meeting you're going to go to next week. I mean, like I said, we only have 2 weeks left. So let's get everyone praying for our president, praying for this election, and we can make it happen. We can make this happen. We really can. And don't be afraid to speak up. And I've been telling everyone, I don't have my cell phone here, but I've been telling everyone, go down your contacts in your cell phone, right? And if you do order those comparison guides, what you can do is go to the dollar store, get a pack of envelopes cheap for $1, And then as if you would send Christmas cards, send these comparison guides out to everyone on your list and let them really see what's at stake for this election. This is one election that nobody can sit it out. Just think about 2016. There were some of those states that the president won. He didn't win by huge majorities. It was a little close. And we don't want that to happen again. I have a vision and a hope and a desire that we see a lot of red all across the map of the United States. And I think we can make it happen, but we need you, all of you here, our Facebook and streaming friends. We really need everyone here. And again, if you still want to volunteer with our team, you can go to prolifevolunteer.com. That's prolifevolunteer.com. Fill out that form, and Byron White, he's our political outreach associate. He'll give you a call in the morning tomorrow and get you more involved. I mean, there's just a lot you could be doing. You can contact the campaign in your area. They still need people to knock on doors, distribute literature, make phone calls. I mean, we have to leave no stone unturned and do everything possible to bring us victory. Victory for life, for the babies, their moms, dads, families, religious freedom. I mean, there's just so much at stake. So let's go, team, go. Okay, go to prolifeproducts.org, place your orders, be a volunteer, prolifevolunteers.com. And okay, wait, we have something from William Sanchez. He says, I am from El Paso, Texas. We love Trump. El Paso strong, Trump 2020. That's right. Hey, William, I'm going to ask you to be responsible for Texas because I hear these rumors make me crazy. They're saying, oh, well, Texas may not be red. It's going to turn purple or blue. Nah, I have a lot of friends in Texas, and I don't think you're going to let that happen. And then Daniel says, yes, we're going to have a red wave, okay, a red wave. Well, brothers and sisters, that's about all the time we have right now. But yes, let's pray for the red wave. Let's pray for our president and vice president, and let's on to victory. Thanks for now. This is Janet Morena, Executive Director of Priest Life. God bless.